you'd ban. You'd literally ban the Urgot versus them. It's been a while, not Urgot, sorry, Yorick. Been a while since we've seen the Yorick come up. Obviously, a split pushing Menace. We saw split pushing really punish on M&M in the first game from JDXL. We also saw it with the Tryndamere earlier on today as well. The split pushing seems to be something that's showing up more in these damage reduction patches and the durability patches because, you know, these towers are still worth the same amount of gold as they were before, but it's harder to get those golds through kills. So eyes kind of on Singularity to see if they can make this work. Obviously, Scroody gonna dodge away from that Sky Splitter, but eyes on top lane.
Eyes on that top lane, particularly because when we have had our faults with X7, has been where they would basically just try and outscale, play very passively, and just say, when we get to a certain point in the game, our champions are very good and we have the hands to pilot them. It wasn't necessarily about massive coordination. It was a lot of individual plays. It was again, like the Azir, Senna, crazy late game infinite scaling kind of comps. In this game, Yorick forces the issue though. So you need to have more coordination. You need to be able to play around those side lanes. And if you do, bring Ornn and Volibear, who are lore rivals, actually. Thinking about it, we've chatted about that at some point.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, they are. They're the Freljordian demigods which fight each other.
True.
Yeah,
well, they're working together versus a man and his pets in the top lane. Do you
know
why I'm saying pets? Because they got more pets, baby. I believe this is the one I wanted to talk about.
Oh my god, it's ferrets!
Look at the ferret.
The cookie and caramel. Oh my god, that's so sweet. Literally.
And yes, I do have great taste in animals. I love ferrets.
Oh.
It's their little burglar masks. They're so cute. I love them. We actually have everyone loaded up. So
we also have fighting in the bot lane level 1.
Oh, we do. Pichone should be okay, but heavily punished by X7.
How rude.
Yes,
we were
are looking
about
at
ferrets.
All right, I'm going back to pets.
So go. Aww. This boy said first pick Yuumi in draft and win the game. GG Nuriki.
Honestly,
but the thing is though,
he looks so much like my my girlfriend's Winston.
Aw.
Just like that.
I grew up with a cat.
Though.
I grew up with a cat called Socks, who was black with white feet, so it looked like she was wearing socks. It was adorable.
This is apparently cute.
Oh,
okay.
Oh my gosh, it's a Shiba as well.
I was told this last one was cute.
It is. Well, it didn't disappoint. That's actually adorable.
Your pets never disappoint at home, guys. Please send them in.
Send us more.
I would quite happily turn this show into just a pet showcase.
Normally, we go through like one of these per game and go, oh, we'll play this one clip later. And the games have been fairly slow to allow this, but we have had so many people sending their animal friends to us. We're like, sweet. Show them off, get them on stream. It makes our job more enjoyable.
But it honestly brings a smile to my day. We're kind of, we'll rate your dogs and your pets and stuff. They're all going to be a third.
Oh look, level 3 dive, Volibear's hit. Let's go. Level 1's on Pichone.
Two-man knock-up though. They're looking for a little bit more. Pichone, he's going low, but he's not going down. Pichone finally falls. First blood to Attila.
And it is going to be a couple of summoners blown on either side. That level 1 really enabling X7 to play towards the top lane. Now Chasey in trouble, uses that searing charge, but those ghouls are on target.
And Monkey's coming in. He's got the slow, he's got the bop, and slow onto Chasey. The hammer comes down, but they're not going to chase for more. Chasey will be able to survive this gank as Singularity unable to make it work topside, and crucially, no summoner spells burn either. But this bot side,
we have seen this so much today. I wonder what's going on in scrims or elsewhere, because we've seen this bot lane dive, yes, but the immediate cross map coming in, it feels like the bot side has always been winning out today. The top lane cross map has rarely actually led to much after this point. We've actually been seeing a lot in the LEC as well. Europe really starting to get towards this early bot side tower dive again. Seems to be becoming increasingly more frequent.
And it's an interesting thing as well, is actually Temp's getting ganked here, caught out by the monkey bot, slowed by the red buff as he is losing so much health.
Ow.
Wow, chunked out heavily. But kind of going back to the point about the bot lane, obviously a couple weeks ago we had the durability patch introduced. Things obviously changed up. Towers do more damage, people have more resistances. But remember, resistances are based on level scaling. So the more levels you have, the more resistance you have. So if you gank early, it's all right. And I think people have wrapped their heads around how much damage these towers do. So they have to drop tower aggro earlier than they would. And I think there's just been enough scrims, enough practicing on these tower dives to get a good hold on when you can actually pull these dives off. And that's kind of what we're seeing here. Constant dives in the bot lane and constant punishment for especially these Seraphine lanes.
Yeah, and We are seeing that Attila and Kaseng starting to link up a little more. And one thing which was said by, I'm trying to remember who said it in the community, but they were talking about too, of course, this bot lane was the Vodafone Giants bot lane of last year. We saw them at EU Masters. They got through to those quarterfinals before they were beaten by Misfits Premier. In fact, that was the quarterfinal we cast, actually, in my first EU Masters.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
back to Summit. Yeah, so anyway, we've seen this bot lane on a couple of different teams now, and their 2v2 wasn't necessarily the speciality. It feels like in this game, they've got a better handle on it, though. Of course, they're against a new bot lane duo. Of course, Piccione was playing mid lane last game for Singularity. Now moved down towards bot lane to incorporate Mirza, who, of course, came in to replace Piccione, who was mid lane at the start of the split. And it is a newer bot lane, but still, Attila and Kaseng looking comfortable in it.
Yes, they definitely are. Nice little trade there, though, from Piccione and Pearson, able to get that off. But MC thinks about starting up the Cloud Drake.
No.
Cloud Drake does a lot of damage, by the way. It has
Highest
a lot
single
of
target
attack
damage
speed,
in the game, yeah, for the Dragons.
just smacks away at you. MC, though, obviously has that maul, has the ability to recover a bit of health, obviously smites the shields and Kasing, so he'd be okay to pick this up. So first Dragon will go over to X7, and they're going to keep the tempo up, because if you look already, there's a fairly healthy gold lead starting to be built up for X7.
So that is going to be through, I believe it's one plate bot lane. You got the kill, first blood down bot side. You have 20 CS lead in bot lane, almost the same in mid lane dominance. I mean, dare I say it has been the lane dominant team in the ERLs has actually been Karmine Core in the past, actually, and of course currently as well. Feels like X7 showing off our own NLC version of, well, it doesn't matter what else we'll do, we'll have those lane advantages, those CS advantages, and making sure that they're holding Singularity to account.
Sips needs to be a little bit careful, but should be okay. I'd actually like to have a look at the individual gold, just to see how far ahead these bot lanes are.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That area is going to be a problem. And I actually look at what Singularity have, and you don't have that much of an answer to Zeri. You are looking for Rakan to get right on top of that target in the CC layer, everything. It's going to be very hard to do that, though, when Ornn's looking to disrupt you, when Renata ult is disrupting you, when Volibear is doing the same thing. I'm looking at Attila and I think, look, dude, this is your time to shine.
Yeah, MC, though, does need to be quite careful, has to ult to get away. And then kind of go back to that gold lead. You'd be happy with just a 400 gold lead.
Oh, Collapse coming in. Singularity went deep for this.
They're looking for it. The two-man knockout comes in to the wall bang onto the two of them. Scrooty falls down to 10th. Sips is flashed onto, and Chasey will continue the chase. The Igniter's being thrown down. He does catch him with a flesh wall, but Kasing will finish him up. A beautiful kill there for X7, back to back, and Chasey set the team up for that.
And Singularity, this is a team which has changed every member besides Piccione from the start of this split, changed so many members throughout the course of this season. Got to start asking questions about, well, we have expectations about them, or rather ones which need to be set about their communication, about their, Attila has to flash out. Got out of that replay early. You could tell something was happening, because when the replay flicks back, you tend to know something's going to happen. But Singularity, we have expectations that need to be set about their level of coordination, about their level of individual play. And currently, in mid and bot lane, we're going back to the replay. Okay, cool. Crisis averted. Talking about the coordination, individual level of play. They get that individual level of play in terms of catching out MC, using that wall so well to catch him out, but then coordination with the rest of the team, understanding where they are on the map, is a little bit lacking in this case. They'd overchase, doesn't seem like they'd really recognized that until far too late, and they lose 2 kills, which is not the best start against this top side.
Not the best start against all of X7, if we're going to be honest.
Yeah.
Bot side, pretty good. Yes, Attila has now burnt Flash, but obviously has the ability to jump over walls because Zeri obviously has a lot of movement speed because Zeri, and still has an exhaust. Not because Zeri, but just because that was what he chose. So does have that to work with. Now, Scrudy is waiting around. Kasing is coming in, but the big thing is Kasing hasn't hit 6 yet. So doesn't actually have that big ultimate that can kind of turn the tides of this bot lane action. And Attila's actually almost level 7 because Kasing's walk around. What an encore into the beat drop, into the cyclone, and Attila is ignited. Attila will fall down. The bailout's thrown down just to get a little bit more time, but it's not going to do enough. Piccione, that encore was absolutely stunning.
It was lethal, and Attila thinks he's safe for the time being, but with the level 6 hit from Scrudy, enough damage just about comes through. Bailout very, very close, and you're absolutely right to point out the fact that Kasing didn't have that level 6. If you have that, potential of an escape very much on the table. Crossmap is going to come in through though. MC going to secure that Herald. We'll be tracking very closely where that's going to. give one of these carries one of their leads. I'd imagine it's going to be staying away from this Ornn lead. Chasey is surviving right now. If you feed this into Corki or Zeri, you're very happy with how things go, though, from the side of X7.
Chasey's doing quite a lot of damage, actually. He saw how much that Bellow's Breath did. I expect to see this Rift will get thrown down in the mid or in the bot. Obviously, decided Corki, a champion who kind of needs as much gold as possible.
Yeah.
I hit on it earlier, but he's a champion that relies quite heavily on quite a few components. Obviously, you want that tier. You obviously want Mana Mune, which is kind of a component until it's fully stacked up into the
and then
mana.
You need the Hex Drinker for AP matchups.
Yeah. And then you still need a Lost Chapter. Like, he has a lot. His like initial buy is very expensive. The payoff once you got that like 2.5 items, including the Hex Drinker, is enormous. But he is a champion who is very, very reliant on gold. Once he kind of hits those, like after that 2 items, every item afterwards is like a big spike.
What really saves Corki, though, is that their first couple of levels are really impactful just in terms of base damage. Phosphorus Bomb, notoriously high damage. Actually, that's why he was played as a bot laner for so long. But that was before a load of changes came through. But his his level 1 Phos Bomb is so nasty to play against in so many laning situations. But now we get to talk about a little bit later into the game, which is the special delivery. The package has been picked up by Tempt. Dragon is spawning now, but with Singularity resetting, it looks like they are more than content to just going to let this package time out. And Singularity going to be losing more damage on mid, going to be losing that Dragon while they're avoiding the package. It's not like they're avoiding losses across the map at the same time. They haven't got their lead in top lane they would have loved for their Yorick. I think that top side skirmish has really led to that eventuality. Jungle matchup starting to go away from Scrooty as well. MC picking up more and more farm, picking up Dragons, Heralds, and then both carries on the bot side similarly ahead. X7 just pound for pound out-muscling Singularity.
Well, they've taken power bot side, and that gold went to Attila. He is set up as they are looking to drop the package down here. Sips is not got flash. He's caught out. He's going down. He's slowed, and that is Tempt with the kill. Maiden will fall as well, and now Attila has actually more time to get more plates. So this is even larger gold leads coming in momentarily for the side of X7.
And Sips just doesn't have the information on top side to play safely at that point. You can't just play safely for absolutely forever, but Singularity not really set up their top lane for success in that one. And again, it feels like that ill-fated top side catch into turnaround really has spelled a really difficult situation for them. It is a huge amount of gold for this point in the game, going over the weight of X7, partly through those individual plays and partly through, of course, the CS leads in every single lane. Singularity, again, we were kind of talking about how we needed to kind of see where they were currently standing at in the grand scheme of the NLC. Sat at 0-8, maybe a chance to, at least on paper, reset the mantle, reset the slate a little bit for this roster, because they need to. This is the end of the first round robin. Setting at 0-9 would be such an unprecedented comeback for this team. It'd be so difficult to come back from, but as it stands, not really got a lot of hope in this one, at least in the early game.
Quite a lot of damage coming out from Attila there. Only 1 minute left until the plates actually fall off, so I don't think Attila is going to be able to...
Oh, have you ran into Zeri's crit W now? Have you run into that?
No.
Yeah, so
I
this
mean,
is
to
the
be
thing that
fair,
we've seen with this is the thing we've seen with AP Zeri, where effectively what changed was when you have the full charged auto on your passive, your right click doesn't slow anymore, but it does more damage. Well, if your W goes into a wall, it basically automatically crits, and yes, that does benefit from Infinity Edge. But what that means is that when you build AP, because it automatically crits anyway, the amount of damage you get from Zeri's W is absolutely absurd. So watch for that W, it becomes such big damage. See if we'll see it in this fight.
You can only throw the Encore onto one. MC has been CC locked though, but Attila's over the wall, and that is a big ultimate coming down from Kasing. Massive hostile takeover, but it won't result in any kills, as MC's trying to desperately get this plate before it falls off. Not going to do so, unfortunately, and they are going to step away.
But even though you're surviving in topside, most of the time when you see these plays, you look for a cross map. I see nothing. I see Chasey.
Oh, Sips got chunked. Oh, Sips got chunked by Chasey.
Exactly. I mean, Chasey gets to push in bot side. Yorick is losing the push versus Ornn. Now, Chasey did come in from LCK Challenges, did come in as a hot prospect from Korea, as so many players have done to the ERLs over this last season. Of course, X7 being home to a number of them. But even with that, you don't expect that in the Ornn versus Yorick matchup. This matchup, which was last picked, this matchup which Singularity would love to have side lane pressure, to force X7 to play coordinated, to play to their own tempo across the side lanes, has absolutely failed so far.
You see Tempt just chunking out Mercer. Does have to be a little bit careful because Pearson is in the area, but has been spotted out on the Warden. Ow. Was that a big one, or was that just a regular?
It was a big one. It doesn't have the Ludens on top of it or anything, but it's still... trust me, you see that red mark under his mana bar, and you're like, ah, yep, really need to dodge this next one. Pops on the mini wave, and Mercer, while he might have some kill pressure later into this game, has struggled to find any kind of winning trades against Tempt so far to force him back and get some kind of ability to skirmish. He's been under tower so much so far, not really able to impact the map.
Yeah, unable to do so. Dragon spawning up in a minute's time is Chasey has got the ultimate and has a nice little flank here. Tempt has to be somewhat careful.
MC's here too. Looks like they're baiting the play.
They are coming in. They're jumping in. They're trying to find Tempt, but they can't get so, as MC and Chasey were there just to scare them off.
Oh, Sips.
Sing and Attila will be looking for Sips. Sips is actually able to do quite a lot of damage to Kasing, and that might be enough to scare them off, but MC, he's found himself a bird, catching them off for the moment. The first respawn gonna go a little bit wide as MC has to, oh, they get the Ornhorn off, and here comes the interrupts, here comes the turnaround, hostile takeover, lands onto Scroody, he throws out the ultimate, and they find him with the W from Attila. An absolutely amazing pick there for the side of X7. They get themselves a kill in return. Sorry, they lose MC, but in return they gain 2 kills.
Even with that, you know, Piccione is the one left on the side lane. This is not the champion you want on the side lane, pushing your turrets. Piccione away from the fight. You would have loved that encore, would have loved that Enchanter to be buffing up your entire team. Singularity, they're already at such a large deficit, but they're struggling to even find fights within their own jungle. Only 16 minutes into the game. We've had some short games today, but X7 starting to ratchet up that pressure, find fights in increasingly deeper territory, and Singularity not in a great position to respond. We'll really need to see them find some more gripped up fights or get some kind of sideline advantage, and they're failing to find either right now.
I mean, what we're seeing is passively teams getting ahead and then just going,
closing the door.
It's done. And like, we've had games being a little more backwards and forwards and even still being a fast-paced game, but especially these last two, it's been relatively relaxed. They then pick themselves up a gold lead, snowball that gold lead to the point where then the other team just don't get to play at all.
I think that speaks well to the fundamentals of playing from ahead. I actually think it's a sign of a good team if you can close out very strongly, because if you have to continue to play around objectives and set them up in the right way, get your vision in the right place, and yeah, I know we talk about vision a lot on broadcast, but particularly in these games, one of the reasons they look so low energy rather, is because just the vision stops them from getting caught out. Would have loved to have some vision of that. Wukong going over the wall though.
Here comes Chasey though, he gets himself the 2-man Ornhorn knockup. That is a massive encore though, coming in from Piccione. The package has been dropped as Tempt looks to take out Piccione on the back line. Mercer trying to jump around with the ultimate, but he can't do diddly squat. A double kill for Attila as X7 just take over the fight once again. Every time Singularity don't have an answer, Sips will get the shutdown gold on the tower, but he might get shut down in response for this as MC's in the wings. Sips tries to put up the flesh sword, actually catches MC. That might be enough to keep him away from the stun, but he misses the slow with the miss. There's no towers to go to, and
he's just accepted it.
That is not an okay amount of damage for a core keeper.
Oh gosh, Tempt has, even in X7's woes, Tempt has been just incredible. I think in spring it was a tale of 2 mid laners, really. It was really Tempt and M&S for most of spring. Of course, Fury had honorable mention for his late split performance in spring too, but Tempt has continued to be, in this split at least, even when X7 have been on the low end of their own performance, continually a threat, continually in the right place at the right time and doing so much damage.
18 minutes into the game, the gold lead, 8,000 right now. X7 kind of showing us why they were one of the top teams last split.
And that they can be again.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing, is they've not had a great split. They're 4-4 right now, but only at the end of the first round. But they'd rather be higher, as Piccione able to just about dodge away on the Ornhorn, but in comes the Ram man, looking to find the knock-up. And
that is no flash on Seraphine. But why is Piccione in a side lane alone again? Why are they there? This is not where you want your Seraphine. Have your Akali in a side lane, have your Yorick there too, and they're now stuck in the fight without their Enchanter.
He's been caught, he's going to jump over the wall. Mirza misses out on the perfect execution, and they're able to fend the kill. Attila gets another screen.
Oh,
goes down, it's a double kill. Picked up for Attila. Sips is taken down by a rocket, and he will be sent back to the grey screen to join the rest of Singularity. Is it only Pearson will survive? The big worm spawns. X7 are on this side of the map. They might just start it
They
up.
will take it on spawn. They have enough damage. We saw how much damage that Temp was doing against champions. Let's see how much you can do against this Baron. It is going down. And X7 pulling Singularity apart at the seams. Piccione in a side lane alone yet again. And this time gets punished with a death for X7. Quickly find a fight on the top side afterwards, knowing that the Enchanter isn't there, knowing that the Encore isn't. And Chasey manages to join that fight to X7, being much more coherent, playing around their points of power and punishing the mistakes as they come. Confident performance from our reigning champions in the NLC.
Very, very confident game here, and it looked bad. Attila got caught, Attila got a lot thrown on him, but he was just able to survive thanks to the shielding coming in from Kasing, and able to get out in time and then just start to tidy up the fights. Obviously, having the shield, Immortal Shield.
That's the one, yeah.
Definitely helps somewhat as well.
Also helps when you've got aim hack on your Corki rockets, as Temp seems to have so much damage again. Hits their own breakpoints. You talked about how Corki was such a gold-dependent champion. He's actually going for the Blighted Jewel into the Void Staff, presumably next. And this Corki is absolutely nuclear. At this point, Blast Cone is going to spot out some members of Singularity. MC.
One hell of an ult. They're finding the knock-up. Look for the Encore. If he can land it, it might be good, but it's only on to 2, and now they have to run away. Piccione is being chased, and I will Sarah see you in hell as they throw down a massive hostile takeover. 2 members of Singularity fall. Sips can do nothing but run away as the bear runs him down. The Sky Splitter will slow him. Tempt will take him down, and X7 will force Pearson to flash away as Mirza. It has just not been the game for Akali, unfortunately. He thinks he's safe, but there is one scary bear coming in to chase him down, and Chasey will continue the chase, but they're cooling it off there. They're stepping away.
Oh my gosh, X7. I mean, we were talking about quick games. It is 22 minutes into this game. This is not what we have come to expect from the durability patch. It's meant to slow games down. It's definitely made some of the fights longer, but definitely not this one. One of the key moments I'd love to highlight from this, and I'm sure we'll see it in the replay as well, is Kasing utterly blocks Mirza from this fight. Mirza just has no way in, gets hit by a handshake, and suddenly it's just, okay, cool, fight's over. That was the only way I think that Singularity could maybe come out with something better from this, try and use that Akali diving through clumped up members. But while all of this is going so well from MC, just look at this, Kasing punts him out. Mirza doesn't get an ult across, doesn't get a shuriken flip onto anyone important. This Akali achieves so little from the prime positioning of Kasing, and of course that disengaged play. MC and crew have so much damage to capitalize rather on the rest of the plays being made.
And now Sips once again on the receiving end of a whole lot of hurt, but he is going to be okay. They're not going to be able to pick him up quite yet. Got Soul. I think that's the big thing. They've got Soul,
yes.
They've got Baron, and they've got Herald. Like,
oh my gosh.
This game is just the trifecta of doom.
I think from this point, with the amount of charges Herald's going to have, I don't think we can possibly get the Chant Dancing Herald. It's almost certainly going to die. But they're getting, oh, that's a good amount of damage.
Someone's going down. They got a big ultimate. MC's under the tower, and they are scattered. It's like a shopping list. One by one, they go down. It's a clean ace for X7. It's going to be a clean victory to follow as well. I mean, the inhibitor falls. The towers are going down. Namira, this game's over.
I mean, is this League of Legends or Halo? That looked like a Mac round, an orbital strike onto Singularity. They've been absolutely bunker blasted back to 0 and 9. A first round robin only marked by defeats.
They basically mirrored XL here. It was not a great start to the split. 0-9 for Singularity as X7 drop a tactical nuke on them. Game's over. 24 minutes on the clock, and X7 just slaughter Singularity.